Well, welcome back, and we're now in the inner sanctum of Richard's. Do we call it a domain or a universe, or what is the
habitat?
habitat? That's it. Yes. Well, that's
I don't know. What
yes,
do you call it?
yes,
I mean, it just becomes life.
yeah,
So I guess it is like a habitat. You know, but I often joke to people when they visit us that they've come to see the artists in their natural habitat.
yeah. Well,
I mean, when you go to a gallery, you don't feel like you're in your. When you go to a gallery, you don't feel like you're in your studio at all.
that's a good point, because I imagine, once you've put something in public display in somewhere else gallery, it's almost, I imagine, like showing yourself off, walking naked down a street in
Well,
a crowded street.
It can be. That's right. It can be. I mean, it's one thing that the general public may not realise or may not be supposed to know, but every artist still has an opinion of their own work, and if you generally, when you get in work ready for exhibitions, you're under a lot of pressure, and often you're not sure about the piece that you're putting on show because you haven't actually had enough time to really absorb it since you finished it.
Yes.
So it's always an interesting.
Yes, and I imagine too that it's, as soon as you put it out there, it's for someone else's interpretation.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and as soon as you walk into the room, you're watching.
Yeah.
To see whether there's people looking at it or what their reactions are, and it's interesting. I don't take it. I mean, I'm a bit lucky now. I mean, years ago, of course, I went in there sweating,
Yep.
walking around and watching every bit of it. But I don't sort of tend to take as much notice anymore, perhaps.
You artists, when you get together at exhibitions and so on, is there much swapping and swapping around?
Well, I don't know about swapping. I guess that may not happen at the gallery. It may be things that happen more in the studio relationships.
Yep.
But I mean, they had the opening of the Taranaki Arts Trail exhibition on Friday night, and it wasn't until I got home that I mentioned to my wife that all the pieces of art that I knew of that sold that night were actually brought by artists.
Oh gosh, yep.
So this was an interesting one.
Well, that shows that you've got a well-to-do artist community.
Yes, that's right.
That there is people.
I think it shows too that we, especially the artists that have been around for a long time, they understand what it's like to come through. Exactly like you say, you talk about the piece I happened to buy was an artist that I don't know, met her once, but I mean, she would have been nervous, very nervous having that piece there for the first time, and it was made from recycled materials. That's what attracted me to it as well.
Yes.
So, but I mean, it's a chance to get them because the early artists are cheaper.
Yep. Yes.
So I guess it's a little bit of being in the right place at the right time.
Yep. And art is an investment, or art is purely because you like?
It certainly can be at that level.
Yeah. Yes.
But most artists wouldn't be investing in it, I don't think, at the level that they like to sell.
Yes. Yes. So down here, what are you working on?
Well, this is a LED light panel. It's for a bathroom window in Opunake. So it's just halfway through sort of assembly. The process basically is generally go to the house and talk to the owner, and then we come up with a design. So this one here is sort of the design that we came up with. So it's a little bit of a modern interpretation of a breaking wave.
Yes, it looks beautiful, and can see that, and it's a different approach to what we often think of in stained glass, of the old church windows,
that's right.
and lots of little bits being put into to make a picture. This is giving you a feeling as well.
That's right, and that's what I like to do more. I mean, there's this traditional stained glass where we, what I call the factor, grandma's taste, the red roses and the green leaves and the old dark cottage and beautiful in their context. But I can walk out of there, hop my van and drive 2 miles down the road to a brand new aluminium and concrete block and carbon fibre and all these new materials, and they want something new and exciting. So modern design is more about the feel of something. And the lead line, whereas before was kind of just a constructional thing. And in modern stained glass, it's more of a graphic.
Oh, I see. So
line.
it's like you're using your charcoal or using a black line to bring out and that. Now, is it true? We call it LED lighting. Is it LED still?
Yes, it certainly is. Yes, it's still LED. It's still have plenty of fishermen drop by and get my offcuts of lead to make their sinkers. It wouldn't be as lead as the old lead.
Yeah.
There's a lot more alloys.
But I see you're doing something. My basic glass cutting, as we did the other week, straight line and then a snap and
That's
hope.
Right.
Few curves here.
Yes.
What can we? Can you show me how you actually do cut a curve?
Well, you see here, what basically happens is once I go from this pattern here, from the drawing we go to full size, and that's all the lines that we see.
Right.
So all the glass I cut by putting on top of the pattern,
Yep.
and I cut over the lines, and these black lines here actually represent the gap left between the glass.
Oh, I see.
When
So,
it's installed, you can see that there's a piece of lead.
Yep. So you've
So
got to
I
have a
cut on
pen
top of the pattern.
at 2 mils or whatever. Yep.
That's right, 2 mils exactly.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Richard, there's a lot of curves in here, and by great luck, just by my feet, we have a very sensuous piece that's got all the curves of seduction, the curves of touch, and just looks damn fine as well. Some of these curves, bit of a
Yeah.
knack in cutting them.
Yeah, it's called rhythm, that one. And it's a little bit like, when you're cutting the glass, it is almost like a rhythm.
Yes, well, you can
Those
dance.
curves.
Yeah, dance with it and the light as the light
Yeah.
moves. Well, you've got a piece down here. Let's
Okay.
have the explanation of
Find out, eh?
how rhythm comes about.
So glass is a bit like, working with animals. If you're nervous, it knows.
Yeah,
So it's basically, as I say here, there's always a pattern underneath, and you'll see that this here is the pattern of the pieces that I used for this.
right.
And
Yeah,
I'm not going to try and, well, I suppose I could. Let's try and, I'm going to just put some lubricant down here. It's just kerosene
yeah.
on the line there. It's pretty ambitious to try this cut. with the camera on me.
Yes, all right.
But the beauty of showing the 10mm glass, this is nice thick 10mm glass that I make the sculpture out of there.
Yeah.
And the beauty of showing you this cutting is that when you snap it, it slows right down so you can actually see it snapping.
Oh, well.
Whereas normal with thin glass, you snap it and before you know
Yeah,
it,
bang, yes.
it's gone and there's nothing to see.
You get success and failure very fast, so don't
That's right, you do find out. And this one here, it'll take me a little bit longer, but it's all about the sound with the glass, so it's
Yeah.
important to listen to the cut.
Yeah,
So I'll just line it up basically and start on the line.
and it's quite deceptive because of the refractiveness of it. From where I'm standing, it looks as though you're not on the line, and yet you're
Good.
perfectly. Yes. Yeah. Oh,
Yes, well, see, with stained glass windows, every piece that you cut, there's another one going hard against it, There's
Yep.
one banked up, so it's very important. I'm just going to straighten out there.
Yep.
It's very important that it's exact. With my sculpture, I'm allowed a bit of freedom because glasses don't generally touch against each other.
Yeah.
So you're allowed a little bit of freedom, which
Yep.
gives it a little bit more nature, a little bit more.
Yeah.
So as you can see, I've done the cut right down there. There's nothing really to see.
No, just a
You know,
little
you may see a
slight
slight line.
Yep. Yes.
Okay, and generally the glass would be cut by actually just snapping it with your
Yep.
hand maybe, but there's a special plier that curves the glass, and by placing it over the line there, I can actually put pressure on it, and it gives me a lot of leverage.
Yep.
And you'll start to see.
Oh wow! Look, it's coming down
Yeah.
here as you follow down.
Yeah.
And,
Now see, the leverage runs out about here.
yeah.
So then I've got to actually turn it over,
Yeah.
and you're learning some tips here for your glass house. Glass maybe, but by putting pressure now on from underneath,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
it's along.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that viewers won't know at home is that you've got to have a special areas in your table that assist you
Yeah. So
in this cutting.
a
So
little.
it actually helps to bend.
Yeah.
the
So you've
glass.
got a little dip
We're
hollowed out.
We're going well here.
Yeah. Oh wow! Look at that.
So now the glass is actually cut right through.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
see what it's 99% broken.
Yeah.
It's still got a
Yes.
slither on the
Yeah.
other side.
But still a bit of
that's
grunt
still-
in there.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So then what we'll do now is we actually just got to release that by turning it back over and just and if you listen you hear the difference, but
Yeah. Oh, there we are.
That's how it
Total magic there.
yeah,
Beautiful and
careful.
yeah, it's still sharp
Very
at that
sharp,
point.
very sharp.
At that point.
Now this is where the biggest skill comes, and that's why I'm never nervous about anyone copying my work.
Yes.
Because this is the biggest skill. It's having the patience to learn exactly how to cut it great. Because in my work, I don't use machines to then now tidy up
Yep,
all
yep.
the edges. Glass has to be perfect. There has to be
Yep.
no little chips or nothing.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to cut the glass there, but it's another thing to get no chips on it.
Yeah.
And be able to use it. Look, I spent 14 years at the Tawiri Museum. I know everyone's heard of the Tawiri Museum.
Yes.
And down there, and Nigel Ogle gave me some fantastic advice 25 years
Yeah.
ago, and that was to show the passion that you have for your material.
Yeah.
And what that does is it actually gets you more passionate about
Yeah.
the material. It was the best advice. And down there, I used to have a lot of public, and I'd have a piece of glass just like this on the table,
Yeah.
and I'd be slicing it in little pieces and giving people demonstrations, just like I showed you.
Yes.
But they were always so curious about the simplest curves.
Mm.
So again, it was that communication that inspired me to make things out of simple things and realise that
Yes.
it's not me,
Yeah.
just me, that's amused.
Yes. But what I did note was that you were pushing the glass cutter away from you rather than a lot just draw it towards.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It doesn't make any difference which way the wheel goes.
No.
The reason I'm doing that is because I can visually see
Yeah.
the line. Whereas
Right.
if I come back, I can't.
Oh, right.
my
Yeah.
hand
Oh,
obscures
that's
the
a good
line. So it's a
hint as
skill that
well.
I've had to-
Yeah.
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 Normally you cut on a ruler, it's far more
Yes.
comfortable.
Yeah. To draw. Yeah.
draw. That's right.
Yes. Yeah.